Coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Who do we have on the show today? Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is JR. My real name is Roy Gloria, but everybody calls me JR.
Junior.
That's correct.
Johnny is out today.
Johnny's out of pocket.
Working on
I'm in
RV.
the driver's seat today. I'm going to drive this show to the best of my ability.
Sips on the rocks. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's happening around the world today?
Well, somebody's got a birthday, right? We're going to get a little birthday.
Oh, Darren, one of our producer extraordinaires.
I was going to say producer extraordinaire.
Well, you can still say producer extraordinaire.
Producer extraordinaire.
Yes.
Producer extraordinaire.
Happy birthay, Darren.
Happy
I could not be
birthday.
doing this without you.
Yeah. And we love doing it. My God, I love doing this
This
show.
is a lot of fun.
This is my first time, so let's see.
Welcome. Yeah, we'll be gentle.
Okay.
That's right.
So-
As possible.
Let's kick it off. It's Bourbon Heritage Month. We've kind of touched on it here and there. But today is going to be the first episode where we're not talking about a store barrel pick. We're going to do a little bit more broad kind of bourbon talk here. We do have a whiskey, an American bourbon that we are going to talk about a little bit. But I know you were wanting to touch on, David, some other fun things that bourbon and bourbon barrels are used for besides whiskey.
Yeah, lots of fun things to be done with whiskey other than just, drinking it. You got bourbon barrel beers. They even take tobacco, cigar wrappers and age them in bourbon barrels. You do wines in bourbon
I
barrels.
was about to say now they're aging all sorts of like gin in bourbon barrels and finishing wines, and you're getting non-alcoholic cocktails. What else are we?
Anything.
Maple syrup aged in bourbon barrels.
I think that we're going to try to do some honey at some point in time.
That would be awesome.
Age some honey in one of our pick barrels.
You ever wonder if they're going to run out of barrels? They use it for so many different things.
There's still trees,
Yeah, well, that's...
and one cool thing, this California whiskey, they plant a tree per bottle sold.
You should.
That is really cool.
Should.
It is a
concern,
a finite resource.
They'll keep making them, because they keep getting used. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so some of the fun things, like my favorite style beer is bourbon barrel aged stouts. Just big, thick, dirty
viscous
motor
oil.
Just pour it on me. I love them. But today we're going to do a porter. So, Jake, the beer nerd,
Yeah.
The difference in a porter and a stout.
Really somewhat ambiguous if you really get down to it. But for all intents and purposes, stouts are going to be higher alcohol. They're going to be thicker in body and typically sweeter. You're using the same ingredients, but porters, the origin of porter has its own history in different countries compared to where they're making stouts in other countries. And so again, if you really, really start getting down to it and splitting hairs, they're super similar in what they're made of and how they're made, but they have become their own separate branches of the same tree, as it were. But like you, probably my favorite barrel-aged style of beer is a stout, but porter, probably number 2.
Well, let's give it a taste.
But
so JR's.
That is because, sorry I don't want to interject on the cheers and we'll have a sip of this beer. But because typically stouts and porters, they're going to have all these awesome chocolate notes, sweet kind of dessert, and the roasted malt, you'll get smoky notes. Again, porter's typically a little bit more on the bitter side. But then when you marry that with bourbon barrel flavors, it creates something magical.
Magical. It does. JR, what if you're going to the fridge to grab a beer, what style is your style?
It's evolved. It's strictly in IPAs right now. I'll go, but I like to drink and share beers. Start with something and have like a plan, and finish somewhere, getting a lot of different styles in. That kind of started whenever we started getting all these seltzers and stuff.
Right.
And so it became a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Which starts you going backwards, like, well, maybe I should start with an appetizer.
Right.
And have a main course, go into the dessert.
You definitely can follow some like food type rules because you want to start off with the lighter stuff and not overwhelm your palate. Obviously, same thing in the wine world. You don't want to drink a bunch of Cabs, Syrahs, and then move on to a Riesling and Chardonnay,
Right.
Because your mouth is by then coated with tannins and, you're tasting something you drank 15 minutes ago.
Well, then you get palate fatigue as well. Like
it's real.
We were running through France the other day.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, we tasted 20-ish French wines all in a row, and man, they start running together. Of course, we were spitting here. We weren't getting drunk at work, but they do all kind of run together. And you need some crackers, some water in between every 4 or 5.
A nap.
Yeah, a nap. Yeah.
I was just at Drug Emporium and I was checking out, and they had ended up being at the cosmetic counter, and even there they had like coffee beans, like they have fragrances, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. I've been to several places that don't do that, but they had it.
Drug Emporium's not a bad place. I like to go there to get my hair care goods.
Yeah.
So this beer, the porter,
it's
got a lot more carbonation too than the stouts I've been drinking.
Yeah. A lot of times, those stouts, you don't want them super duper carbonated. Again, it goes with that big full body mouthfeel. You don't want it super peppery with the carbonation. Sick. Yeah. This particular one, I didn't really talk about it when we poured it. It's from Deschutes Brewery. They're out of Bend, Oregon.
Good stuff.
One of those big time regional breweries like I talked about last week that has become a national brand, and I'm pretty sure they're still independent and not owned by a big parent company, but great reputation. Again, they were one of the Northwest, kind of the leaders of the Northwest beer scene from Oregon, Washington State, back when that was an absolute mecca for beers. And so this is their porter, Black Butte, but then they put it in bourbon barrels. And another thing we didn't really touch on is a lot of times brewers will put their beer in a bourbon barrel and then they'll age it on top of other things. This one has chocolate, coffee, vanilla, milk sugar, also known as lactose, which, if you don't know, milk sugar is a sugar that doesn't turn into alcohol. That's how alcohol is made. On the scientific level, sugar is turned into alcohol and gives off other whatever. But lactose, funny enough, does not break down into alcohol, so it leaves a sweetness in there, which is really cool. Again, in a beer like this,
and this is a pretty good beer. I mean, it's
very tasty.
Not my go-to style.
Yeah,
but, is it me or am I tasting the barrel right at the front?
Probably. Yeah,
big barrel character.
Yeah, and also barrel aging ups alcohol content. What's the ABV on this one?
It's it'll suck some of that alcohol out of the walls of the barrel.
Yeah,
11%.
Yeah. Nothing to
that'll get the job done.
Yeah, right. And you don't feel the alcohol, don't taste the alcohol.
Right. Drink says
not a big burn on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So sticking with bourbon speak, everyone is enjoying this golden age of bourbons. Bourbons, it's just all about bourbon. Everyone, of course, wants the unicorns or barrel picks. It's just crazy. I was reading an article about, when will this bourbon boom end? And the writer of the article was speculating that, as long as people are still curious, it's still going to be happening.
I mean, we got 20-somethings coming in knowing a lot about it. Yeah. So we got another, 60
and that
years.
wasn't the case, back when we were at our last
store. You still get people asking, what's the difference in a whiskey and a bourbon? Of course, all bourbons are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are bourbon. There's we've ran through what makes a bourbon.
Right. Yeah. Go listen to the first episode if you want to. But it really feels like we're in the middle of it and there's no end in sight. That's our number one category at the store.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Our number one.
Craft beers got so huge, but they kind of didn't do themselves any favors with all the, variants and changing styles. And, it's so much quicker to come out with a beer than a bourbon. You take years to get a bottle of bourbon on the shelf.
Yeah.
But we are starting to see regionals like as in beer. Here we got California.
Yeah. And we've seen some Alabama whiskeys lately. And from Nebraska, there's been some coming through. Yeah. Good whiskey being made all over the country.
Yeah. And we tasted these California whiskeys today. The
Redwood Empire.
Man, yeah, they're really good. They've got a blend, a rye, and a straight.
Yeah.
It's the full package too. It's like really nice.
Yeah, really
their
good
labels
stuff.
are awesome. Each one of the types of whiskeys here are named after a specific redwood tree in the redwood forest in California, and they have a really cool backstory on each of the trees on the label. And like you said, for every bottle sold, we were told by the rep today, they plant a tree, and they're part of the reforestation effort out there, which is super awesome. Makes you feel good that you're getting behind a company that cares.
That's right.
And the stuff inside the bottle was fantastic.
Yeah,
that
really
rye we had today was one of the better ryes I've had in a while, and they're winning. They got double gold for their blend at San Francisco Spirits Competition and
New Orleans cocktail competition.
Yeah, they won best overall tasting. Whiskey and a blind taste. Yeah,
so really, really good stuff.
Cool. Check them out.
Already on the shelves here in the store. It's not coming soon. It is here.
It is here.
They were even talking about doing some barrel picks in the not too far off future.
But again, like we said, they're a 3-year-old company, and so they're distilling some and sourcing some from Kentucky, but they can't keep up, with demand already. And like you said, it takes a long time to make good whiskey.
And it's all being aged and bottled in
that was another cool thing he said, is even the stuff they're getting from Kentucky, it's being put in the barrels and immediately shipped to California. And the crazy climate that coastal California has with the super cool foggy mornings and nights and then the hot days, it really, really pulls character out of the barrel faster than other parts of the country, other climates.
Really, really good stuff. And if I'm not wrong, dolphin friendly. Yeah,
dolphin friendly.
No dolphins were hurt.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I'm sure of it. I don't know if it explicitly says it on the label, but let's go with that.
So yeah, lots of fun stuff. Makers having some changes. Their blender and their head distiller jumping ship.
I did not know this.
Going to make their own labels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this the thing that I heard that they were doing overseas too?
No. This is I don't know what you're talking about. No, they're going to stay in Kentucky and open their own label together.
Wow, that's big time.
Yeah, that is big time.
Yeah, where's my notes? Excuse me. Down here somewhere. So yeah,
wow. You said the head distiller?
Denny Potter, master distiller.
Great name.
And Jane Bowie, head of innovation and blending, are leaving as of September the 2nd.
And head of blending at Makers is a big deal. Because, that one, there's more of the hand of the blender in there than there is in a lot of other bourbon companies.
Yeah.
Because they're not just taking single barrels and, putting their name on it. They really, it's an intensive blending process.
Yeah. And, a female doing that job. A lot of people say that females have better palates than males. So, I don't know.
I cooked for a while, and the main women that kept the flavors going were always women. I mean, the main people that did that was always women. Something about it, just the consistency that men just don't have.
Yeah. I know I've been in the craft beer world, have my Cicerone certification. I guess maybe one episode down the line, we'll talk more in depth about that. It's like a sommelier for beer. But I've been in the beer game, intensively and as a profession for years. And then my wife started getting into it, because I would bring stuff home, and all of a sudden, without trying, she would be like, "Oh, was this bourbon barrel aged and have vanilla in it?" And I'd be like, "How did you're not even trying?" She's like, "Oh, what kind of this is pretty hoppy for this style," and say things that'll my ears will perk up and be like, "Wow, you're good." She got a good palate.
So we had Johnny chime in. He says he hates that he's missing the show today.
We miss you.
and he is coming to us from a vehicle service center waiting room.
Our fearless leader.
He's been there all day, hasn't he?
He has been there all day.
It doesn't sound like any fun.
Taking care of business. That's what he does. He holds our ship together.
Yeah.
So this weekend, lots of fun up in Eureka Springs. The Eureka Springs Jeep Jam. My Jeep is currently at Ducky's on Cantrell getting its bath. It gets about once or twice a year.
You wouldn't know it. Your Jeep stays pretty clean.
I drive a few miles a day.
Yeah.
But I had to put the doors and top on to drive up to Eureka this weekend.
You got it. What's the name of your Jeep? Tell people.
Nacho Jeep.
It's cheese colored, and the license plate says Nacho Jeep.
The factory color is actually nacho. So
that's nice.
That's where Nacho Jeep came from. So you see me tooling around Chenal, Denny Road. That's about my my bubble.
Yeah.
Give me a beep beep. But anyway, so a lot of fun this weekend. Looking forward to it. Like, it's the second annual Jeep Jam. Last year they had like 450 Jeeps in the
big parade of Jeeps going through Eureka Springs.
Yeah, go downtown up to the Crescent.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Eureka Springs, this little town here in Arkansas, all the buildings are built into the side of mountains and hills, and it's so hilly. You do a lot of walking up hills when you stay there, but it is a gorgeous little town and really cool. Yeah, little place.
Walking or stumbling, as it were.
Right.
There's some stumbling going on there. Definitely. Some great bars on top of buildings. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just love that.
It's such a unique little corner of the state.
Yeah,
it is
very, very small, but very progressive.
Yeah.
Very cool. Like I think, like founded by the hippies or something.
Oh yeah, must have been. It must have been
really cool. I mean, you still have like the macrame shops and lots of
was that
art galleries
place or something up
there? Yeah.
Stained
glass.
It's really it's like stepping into another country. Like a little Europe or something.
Are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, just old school wood and stone, just gorgeous.
Well, the Crescent, they say is also very haunted.
Yeah. I like going places like that.
Yeah.
When I still lived in Texas, me and my fiance at the time went on vacation to Hot Springs, and we stayed at the Arlington, and it was like The Shining.
Right,
it looked like The Shining, and we were like, but it's great. It was a great place.
That's another really cool hotel. I think they're supposed to be like refurbishing it. Maybe
it probably needs a little TLC,
a little elbow grease here and there. Shout out Jeep Jam. We're gonna have some more stories to report from this weekend.
Get some video, and put it on our soon-to-come YouTube channel.
I've never been in a vehicle parade.
Yeah.
They said bring ducks, so you throw the ducks out. It's for the
if
kids,
you don't know, if you're not in the little Jeep cult.
Ducking is a thing.
Jeep owners who see other Jeeps out, they'll leave a little rubber ducky on the other Jeep. It is really cool. It's a cool little thing.
I have gotten
I'd never heard of it
3
until
times
recently.
behind Legacy.
Yeah.
So, of course, then he buys a huge bag of rubber ducks off Amazon, shows up at the store like, oh, okay, I get what's going on.
Crazy Jeep people. That like the Jeep wave.
The Jeep wave. Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a culture.
Yeah. I've got family into it, and it's intense. It's intense when you see like all these brand new parts just to the next of it, and you're like, what's going on? And the truck and the Jeep's way higher. You're like,
right. Yeah.
Brand new parts.
They're like the most customizable vehicle.
Yeah,
I guess
I could see that.
That's really cool. Mine's not all souped up. Some of the people spend $100 grand.
Yeah, you got that cool brush.
I bet you get some ideas this weekend.
Right?
Yeah. I bet it's going to be an expensive weekend for you guys.
I'm pretty happy with her the way she is. My Nacho Jeep.
Speaking of Nacho,
I've got it right here. The World Cheese Dip Championship. Still doing our promo code, Sips on the Rock, when you check out at cheesedip.net. You get a discount courtesy of the Cheese Dip Festival. So, that's coming up October 30th.
I can't wait.
It'll be a lot of fun.
What's your favorite cheese dip in town?
Like place?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't have a go-to.
Really?
Honestly.
So, I mean, Loca Lona still has really, really good cheese dip.
Yeah. Casa Manana has one that I really like.
Right.
But again, yeah, I
You
like it
know,
all.
In Texas, it's all yellow.
Right.
You know, and being from Arkansas, they're like, "Where's the white?"
Yeah.
And then you come back and you just drink up the white. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite combo, and you know, I'm not about the chain restaurants or anything, but Chewy's chips and queso together, I think is the best combo.
Chewy's has some good salsa.
Their chips are a little too thin for me.
thin,
I like a
so
big old,
breaky.
thick, crunchy
So
chip.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I hear you, but no. Put those two
Different strokes.
together.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
It's good.
I'm about the thick chip sometimes too, but that combo is
Yeah.
good.
Chewy's
Yeah.
queso compuesto is really good. It's got the ground beef and
Yeah.
guac and pico de gallo.
Yeah.
It's like all up in your bowl,
Getting hungry.
breaking your chip.
Y'all ever got the fundito? It's like
it sounds
cheese and you like dip, and it's
Yeah.
got.
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the meat
just
in it.
melted
Oh,
cheese.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
volcanic rock bowl. Isn't that what it is?
That sounds like
Maybe
it's
not.
good.
Lava rock.
Could
bowl.
be on a
Yeah.
iron skillet. I don't know.
Yeah. Getting a Chili's cheese dip now in the little.
maybe.
Iron skillets. That was a good fad for a while.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Right.
Iron skillets on everything.
People steal them.
So
I've seen it happen. Never done it myself.
we there was another big death in the world, particularly in the in our world. In the
Hard
world
to follow
of
up the
booze.
Queen dying.
Hard to follow up the Queen.
I thought we were talking about the
last
Queen.
episode. No.
No.
Fred Franzia, the inventor of $2 Chuck,
Yeah,
and Franzia, yeah,
the man who single-handedly bastardized wine.
yeah, for better or for worse,
For better, for worse.
Yeah.
Right.
People should have more options. Was his whole thing?
Sure,
He is actually adamantly, staunchly opposed to expensive wines.
Yeah.
Franzia, you would assume he had a hand in the box wine, which they did. They created Franzia, sold it off, and then the
started
Bronco
to-
Winery,
yeah, right,
and then bought the Charles. What's the full name?
Shaw,
Charles Shaw.
yeah,
Bought that for $25,000.
wow, what a bargain!
I mean,
That had been a failed Napa Valley winery.
yeah, and can you imagine the ROI?
Yeah,
He made that money back in no time.
yeah,
So very hated though.
yeah.
The guy was not liked. He was so outspoken and just bashing everyone left and right. So he was not making friends anywhere.
Well, I was about to say if he was hated by all the higher ups, and I was like maybe he was hated by the right people. If it's
Right.
all these super rich people who hate that he's making cheap wine, but no, you're saying he was.
I mean, but I had them.
Universally.
Oh, okay, all
I had
right.
them, and they weren't that great.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's a $2 bottle of wine. How
Yeah.
great could it be?
But, the way that we were talking about it was supposed to, and it wasn't. It just, if they had a $2 wine that was good, I'd be on board.
Right.
I mean, I'm certainly no, snob. I'll drink an expensive glass.
Absolutely.
We got
Wine,
plenty of
beer.
great, $12, $15 bottles here, but I guess there's a threshold.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
get down.
Yeah.
I just wonder how
I mean,
they could think a $2 bottle be.
not
oh,
one of
that's
us would
fantastic.
turn down a Pabst every once in a while.
Right.
You know?
Right.
There are beers that I would turn down, though.
Definitely. So what else is going on here? Malachi, our very own Malachi. If anybody here has gotten deliveries, you probably had Malachi at your front door before.
Excellent
You
customer
wouldn't forget him.
service. You wouldn't forget him.
Great guy and very, very smart. A lot of people
Super
don't know
smart.
that he's
Definitely.
he's still furthering his education, and he is an absolute turtle nerd. Loves turtles,
Animal nut in general, but
Yeah.
next level with the
specifically
turtles.
reptiles and turtles. And so anyway, our very own Malachi has gotten accepted to go to the Galapagos Islands.
That's awesome.
To do research
and save the
and
turtles.
save the friggin' turtles. So yeah, we're going to be doing a fundraising campaign here
to help him get there.
to help them get to
Yeah,
Galapagos.
right.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. We got more details coming up on that.
Today we're talking about saving the redwoods, saving the turtles.
All right, and drinking the booze. So yeah, we'll get Johnny back in house, and he'll get donation channels set up so y'all can help us send Malachi to Galapagos. That'll be a lot of fun. He's beside himself. He's so happy about it. Moving right along. You ever gotten in trouble for buying an expensive bottle from the little lady? Either one of you guys?
What? No.
Like buying for it, the little lady?
No. Like you walk home with an expensive bottle and like, what in the hell did you spend that much money on that bottle?
Oh, buying something a little too expensive.
Yeah.
You said the little lady.
In trouble from the little lady.
I mean, I hope she's not watching because I snuck in.
Yeah, some months maybe she doesn't see my beer budget.
Right.
Well, get online right now because there is an auction. Some of the highest valued whiskey. This guy's collection is going on the auction block, Sotheby's. He's got Macallan Lalique, Six Pillars collection, estimated to go for $2.1 million. What?
Wow.
Yeah, but some of the stuff in this guy's collection
that ain't worth drinking. At that, I mean,
40-year-old
you're just getting it as an investment to sell it to somebody else.
Literally, you gotta like make a case for it, put a light on top of it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's like
and like never drink it.
No,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. And so you never. It's
but
not
look
worth
at some of
drinking.
these years in brands that are going up on the block.
40-year Highland, 51-year-old Glengassaw.
now they found some like Roman casks of like something that we didn't know they even made or something like that. That we're talking about, you know, like
Right. Yeah.
it had to be at the bottom of the sea or something.
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
That's silly.
That's silly. Yeah, absolute lunacy. But you know, I mean, if you've got millions just falling out your damn pocket,
You got to spend it on something.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not going with you.
Yeah, at least they're not putting it into something evil.
Right. Yeah.
Could be worse.
So Baton Rouge, little liquor store down in Baton Rouge, is getting some hell from the city. The city's actually trying to close it down because of the crime. It's like the council lady down there, I can't find her name, but yeah, like she's threatening to close this liquor store down because there's so much violence on the street.
And they're blaming the store.
They're blaming the store. They're wanting the store to police. And like, well, where's the damn police for?
Yeah, isn't that what we pay taxes for?
I mean, how can that lie in the
especially
hands?
a liquor store, we pay extra taxes.
Right.
We're taxed out the wazoo.
Yeah.
So-
in an industry that deals with, shrinkage across the board.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So
Yeah.
keep up the fight, Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Red stick.
It's a great town. I used to go there. They have this thing called Contraband Days. Great bands. It's a great city. It's on the river. It's just a really cool town.
I was actually down there 5 or so years ago. I saw a little Facebook photos memory.
Oh,
I had a fun time. Saw a little parade. Yeah. It's cool.
Was it not Contraband Days?
No. Oh, I don't think so.
Were they dressed in pirate outfits? Because it was about some pirates coming through there.
No.
No.
I don't know.
So Ken Starr croaked.
Talking about Ken Starr. He doesn't deserve the time on the show.
Marijuana ballot measure insufficient. They're still going to keep fighting. They keep trying to knock this thing down, but if it makes it on the ballot, it's going to pass. I'm sure.
That's the thing.
It's still approved to be bought out by Heineken. More consolidation.
Yeah. Yep.
That's happening all over the place. Big Texas ABC crackdown. They busted over 130 stores selling to minors.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a big back to school sting operation.
Not worth it.
Hitting all the college towns.
Yeah.
But these fake IDs, you can go online and buy them.
Sure.
They're indistinguishable. They scan. They do. I mean, the cops can't even tell them
I did it
apart.
when I was a kid. That's what I did that. But I got one. Funny enough, I was living in Texas and I got an Arkansas license.
See, I never got like a fake one. I'd borrow like from someone that looked similar.
Right.
I mean, that's what I would have done had I been.
We're past the statute of limitations here, boys,
Okay.
for both of y'all.
Yeah. And I'm not advocating anything.
Right.
I'm not advocating anything.
All right. So Jake's got a big show tomorrow. If you're watching live right now on Thursday, you still have time to get your ass down to
My cover band, Juicebox Jake and the Lunchables, we have a little gig tomorrow at Charlie's Good Time Drinkery. Run by a former Legacy employee that we all love,
Uncle Don
Ryan. Charlie's Good Time Drinkery is downtown in the River Market. Yeah, we'll be playing there around 9:30 tomorrow till who knows when. You know, we play all sorts of fun 90s, 2000s rock covers, hip hop, pop, take requests, all that fun stuff. So yeah, if you're watching live, come out. It's always a great time. And Charlie's has awesome bar food and tons of great craft beers and good
really
cocktails.
Good drinks.
Uncle
Don,
something really nice.
Yeah.
And if no one out there listening, if y'all haven't seen Jake perform before, it's a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Highly entertaining. You think he's good here, you ought to see him on stage.
These guys have known each other for a long time, and a couple have been like since childhood.
Yeah.
And they're just great guys who've been playing together for a long time. Shout out to Jared, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Sometimes he'll play bass barefoot.
Sometimes, most of the time.
Yeah. And Jesse, their drummer, I mean, I've described him as animal.
Yeah.
And you know, a couple other drummers all put together. He's just a great guy.
Yeah, we don't do it to make money. It's an excuse to be silly on stage and drink free beers and hang out with our friends and be loud and
like I
hang
said,
on some instruments.
Highly entertaining.
Well, thank you. I
get your asses down to Charlie's. Listen to some good music, have a good time, some good drinks, good food. Give Uncle Don a big old wet one on the cheek. So yeah, we got to wrap things up, but you want to do a little hog talk?
I guess I'd love to. Again, I didn't think this was going to be an outlet where I'd talk about my beloved Razorbacks, but
this is a pretty special game this weekend.
It is.
Right?
It's in a good year already where the Hogs are 2-0 this weekend. The infamous Bobby Petrino comes to town with his Missouri State team. We are heavily favored to win, but it'll be his first visit back to Fayetteville since the incident that happened on April 1st. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
we all thought it was a cruel joke.
Wow.
After leading us to the tops of the rankings, knocking on the door of national championships, he wrecked his motorcycle. Had a little mistress on the side who was working for the university. Bad stuff all around. You know, university had to fire him. He did some great things for the team and the program, and so I still respect the guy. You know, as a coach, he might have made some mistakes, as we all have. But I know there's rumors of college kids are going to be wearing neck braces.
Right.
The game from the infamous press conference he had where his face was all torn up, road rash from crashing his motorcycle. And but again, the Hogs should have a nice victory, and hopefully he won't get too many boos. I know there's going to be plenty of the people in the crowd giving him a nice ovation.
Always a sourpuss somewhere.
Yeah. Again, probably most are just college kids being silly and having fun who are way too young to remember.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, were they even around then? I mean, come on.
It was a sad sight.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going over. JR, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, I guess.
Yeah, we totally sprung it on him. Told him to come upstairs and said,
last minute, Johnny's not here. Come on, sit down.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like our channels.
Yeah, rate us on your podcast apps. We haven't said that, I don't think. Give us a rating, if you think we're doing good, and tell your friends. And we love doing it, so we want to keep doing it.
Right, exactly. All right, y'all take care.
Thanks,
be safe.
Everybody.
Keep on sipping.
Keep sipping.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.